let's take a look at your end of the year review, part 3. Remember on number 1, we changed t to be -2. So I'm going to plug that in. 164 divided by -2. That gives me 82, and remember my answer is going to be negative here. Now I'm going to plug this 7 in, so I'm going to rewrite it here. And I'm going to follow my order of operations, my PEMDAS. So remember, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents, but there is multiplication. So I'm going to do that first. Now I'm going to rewrite it. Let me draw my lines here. -4 plus 42 gives me 38, and 38 minus 8 is going to give me 30. Now let's find the area and the perimeter here for number 3. So remember, perimeter is my outside. So I'm going to add up those numbers there. Okay, and once I add them up, I get 32, remember, inches. Don't forget your labels. For my area, remember it's 1/2 base times the height. This is the base of my triangle. This is the height. The two of them always come together to make a right angle. So you're going to do 1/2 12 times 8. Pause the video here and answer what you get. You should have gotten 48 for your answer. Let's go on and try the next one. Perimeter, my outside of my shape. So remember, this is 2.5, this is 2.5. If this is 2, this is 2. So I'm going to add all those together here. Right, and this gives me 5, this gives me 4. I get 9 meters for my perimeter. My area, the formula is going to be base times height. So again, I'm going to look for that right angle. Here is my base, here's my height. You need to multiply those two together. Some of you had some trouble with this on your last summative project. Remember, you multiply the first row, 16 plus 4 gives me 20. Cross out, add a 0, start the second row. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 2. Add the 2 rows together and then count your decimal places, 1, 2 spots. You should get 4.5, and remember it's meters squared since it's area. Okay, here we had to find the missing angle. Remember, if the whole thing is 140 and this is 25, you need to subtract. 145 minus 20 is going to give you your missing angle here. So you should get 115 degrees would be your x. This could count for your explaining. Remember, in math, your math work counts. Here, the whole line is 180. 35 plus 10 is 45. So I'm going to do 180 minus 45. I get 135 degrees here for my missing angle. So remember, we classify our triangles based on the sides using our equilateral isosceles or scalene and the the angles acute, right, or obtuse? If I'm looking at this first one here, I can see all three sides are the same and all three angles are the same. So this triangle would be equilateral, and remember, when the sides are the same, the angles are also the same. So we can actually call this equal angular and acute because all three are acute. My next one here, if I'm looking at my sides, I have one side, two sides, and three sides that are all different. Remember, we can also use these little lines to show that when they're all different, we call that scalene. And looking at my angles here, I have three different angles, but all are acute. So we can call that a scalene acute triangle. If I'm looking here at this one, I see I have two sides the same. Remember, when you have two sides the same, you also have two angles that are the same. So this here would be an isosceles, and all three of the angles are acute. So this is an isosceles acute triangle. My last one, I see that right angle in there. So for my angles, I know it's going to be a right. And looking at my sides, again, I have two sides that are the same here. So I'm going to put that little symbol, and this side is different. So I'm going to put that one. If I have two sides that are the same, remember it's isosceles. Now let's review from last week. This is super important as you move to pre-algebra. Remember, we want to circle our like terms. So use different colors, circle your like terms. Here, I get 12y plus 9. That's as small as I can go. My next one, I'm going to circle all of those n's together. So I get 8n, oops, switch colors there, plus 10. Now take a look here. Remember, we need to distribute. So distribute that 6 first. I get negative 24y plus 30 plus 7. Now put these two together first, and we get negative 24y plus 37. Let's try our next one. Again, we're going to distribute that 4. So rewrite the beginning part, distribute that 4. Now combine your constants. Remember, those are the numbers by themselves. Here I get 17 minus 8y. Let's go on and try our now one-step equations. Remember, here I always want to get that variable by itself. So I'm going to subtract 2/3, subtract 2/3. Remember, I need now, I have my y by itself. I need my common denominator here. I have 4/1 minus 2/3. So I'm going to make 3 my common denominator. I get 12/3 minus 2/3. This gives me 10/3. But what do you have to do now? You need to divide it because it's improper. So here we get 3 1/3. So my y equals 3 1/3 here. My next one, if it's negative 4, I need to add 4. Negative 13 plus 4 is going to give me negative 9. So y is going to equal negative 9. Remember, you can always check. Negative 4 plus negative 9 is going to give me negative 13. Okay, tell Mrs. Feynman you need to check your Canvas messages Monday morning. That's going to be where you get your question group. Remember, you don't make up your own questions. You need to answer the ones on the sheet. Also, we submit as a PDF when you are finished with your summative project on Monday. Thanks.